Come in. Hi.
Hi there, Francis. Nice to finally meet you, Garrett Leifring with ADP.
Nice to meet you. Whoa, your hands are cold.
So-
Just came in from outside.
Oh, absolutely. I apologize for that.
No problem.
Well, is it alright if I sit down?
Please
I
do.
apologize.
Please do.
But you are a hard person to get a hold of. You know that, Francis?
Well, I've got a lot of balls in the air simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's your day been today?
Oh, it's great. It's just always busy. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
So,
So I understand you wear many hats.
I do. I like to keep my finger in a lot of different pies here. So.
Absolutely. Well, I understand you're short on time today, so I want to keep it quite brief.
Okay.
Essentially today, what I'd like to do, Francis, is really understand your company. Understand you have great aspirations for the future, and I'd really like to understand that further.
Sure.
So I'd like to ask you a few questions, show you a little bit about ADP,
All right.
and what we can potentially offer you.
Okay, so that sounds great.
Absolutely. So what I'd like to begin with, Francis, is just asking you a few questions. I'm quite intrigued on how you really got started in the gelato business.
Well, frankly, my family and I travel quite a bit to Italy. Have you ever been there?
I have not.
No. Well, the food is fabulous, the wine is fabulous, but they have these gelato shops on it seems every corner.
Mhm.
And once you've tasted it, it's just fabulous. You'll just never go back to ice cream.
Ice cream will never be the same.
No, and I was aware that there really wasn't any of gelato around here,
Mhm.
so I thought it would work. And much to my surprise, it's been very successful. In fact, as I said, we're just running all the time.
Well, that's
So,
great. What
yeah.
a terrible problem to have in business.
Yeah, exactly. There are issues involved with it there, actually.
Right.
Yeah. So as I said, I'm very much a hands-on manager, but it's just been, really a hectic schedule these last several months.
Absolutely. So the transition, or how did you bring the gelato back to Atlanta with the success you have?
Well, we came up with a business idea. It's really very much family-oriented. My brother and my sister work with me in the shop. We just recently actually hired somebody from outside the family for the first time on the executive level. But I actually then went back to Italy and took a 3-month training program in terms of gelato production. So that was how it started. I wanted to make sure it was as authentic an experience as possible. So all the equipment, all the facilities, the shops, all of that actually is sourced from Italy. So there's a lot of issues in regards to bringing things from overseas.
Absolutely.
So that takes up a lot of time. But again, that's how I got started. We started with 1 shop, and now we're up to 3.
Up to 3.
And now we've actually hired somebody to look at franchising.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And are you looking to currently do that in the area, or?
Oh, sky's the limit. Who knows? Certainly beyond the Atlanta area, I think probably our first foray out of state might be Florida. But you never know. It's a great idea. McDonald's started with 1 store.
Absolutely, supply and demand.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, I really like to hear the success. That's great that you've gone through that.
Right.
I understand that you just hired this new franchise expert.
Yep,
who is Steve?
Yep.
Okay.
So his background, he comes from Cold Stone most recently,
Mm-hmm.
but he actually has sort of a fast food franchising background as well. So he's got a lot of expertise he can bring to bear for
Well,
us.
that's great to have. That's great to have. So as you look to expand, what sort of troubles do you foresee?
Well, just even hiring Steve just took so much time.
Mm-hmm.
Having to review the resumes. Recruiting the resumes, the background checks. That just ate a lot of time. And in the meantime, we're operating these stores.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. Hopefully Steve will be able to handle this. But of course, as you expand, there's going to be different challenges, and time will tell.
Absolutely. Now, when you mentioned handling the resumes,
Right.
etc., how did you manage all that?
Bit by bit, with just extra hours in the day.
Mm-hmm. Now, your sister, you said Dorothy?
Right, Dorothy. That's
Okay.
right, Dorothy. Dorothy is our HR and marketing manager.
Okay.
So she and I pretty much went through that together. And again, it was just a lot of time consuming.
Absolutely, I understand. Now, what current process does yourself and Dorothy use when it comes to payroll and human resources?
Actually, Dorothy does most of that.
Okay.
We do use ClickTime, which is a time and attendance software, and it integrates with QuickBooks, which is what we use currently.
A fairly easy software to use.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly inexpensive as well. I know Dorothy complains about it a lot, and I have to tell you that in terms of how much time it takes. But beyond that, it seems to be working. I have heard that there was an issue. I don't know if it's pervasive, where somebody was, the good news about QuickTime is you can actually punch in from anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Sort of sign in on any kind of laptop or any kind of device. The bad news is you can sign in from anywhere.
Oh, the buddy system.
Right. It just came to my attention that may have started to happen. So. we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Do you see that costing the company quite a bit of money?
Absolutely. You know, even though they're part-timers, you know, if it starts to become pervasive, it could be a real problem.
Could turn into a serious problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand. Do you have an estimate roughly how much money that could have potentially cost?
No, I don't. You know, but you know, we've got 60 part-time employees, so if it escalated, it could be a real problem.
Absolutely, I understand. Well, can I tell you a little bit about ADP and our solutions?
That sounds great.
We offer really 3 main solutions, and it really starts with the people. We manage our people, cash management, and ultimately we handle the risk management involved with your company.
Okay.
And so with that, it can give you the peace of mind when your employees are clocking in that they are doing it in safe, efficient, and doing their diligence when doing so. Right. It can really provide you the security moving forward. In fact, ADP, it's an automated data processing system. And we offer a biometric scanner, a thumbprint scanner, if you will.
Oh, really?
And so, unless they pull a James Bond stunt on us, it's going to be more than secure.
It wouldn't be worth it for minimum wage, I guess.
Absolutely, and there's no expense to that added software as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very easy to install, and that's just one of many solutions ADP could offer you.
Right.
I'd like to know a little bit more information on the click time. I understand that it's a very simple program to use.
Right.
But as you look to expand, do you see Dorothy running out of resources or time during that process?
Well, you know, right now we don't have time now. I have to be perfectly honest. You know, so that makes perfect sense. You know, I see that as a problem. It's always a problem, particularly as we get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Absolutely, and expansion. I'd assume you might even have to hire more employees in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And we anticipate that.
And how many employees would you say currently work for you, Francis?
Well, as I said, we got 60 part-timers. We have 3 different stores. We have 4 store managers, one for each store manager, and I've got a floater. And then the executive team, which, as I mentioned, is myself, my sister and brother, and now we've just brought on Steve. You know, so that's essentially. So that it's and then we do I forgot it. Of course, we have production. We have people who are working in the production, actually making the gelato. There's 3 there.
Absolutely. So, do you spend much time in front of the store producing the gelato?
No, I sure would like to, but no, there's just not enough time in the day.
Just not enough time in the day. Right. And I understand your time is valuable.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, I've been known to unload the boxes at the back dock if need be, but what I'd really prefer to be is customer fronting. You know, just dealing with them directly.
Having that customer centric business.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I understand with that. Now, with time being a problem, do you ever see that you're spending maybe too much time doing a certain task that you wish you wouldn't have
Well,
to?
you know, as I said, I'm kind of a hands-on sort of person, so I'm not much for the whole paperwork. Dorothy's handling that, and I really kind of more of a hands-on doing sort of person as opposed to sitting behind my desk. So anything that got me from out behind my desk would be great.
Well, that's great. That's glad to hear.
Right.
And as you look to expand, would you play a major role in starting those, or is that really going to be up to Steve?
You know, we haven't quite started that. I'm sure I'll be involved at the beginning because you know, really hold ourselves to a very high standard. But hopefully Steve can step up to that plate and take that mantle on.
Well, that would be great. Is Steve looking to maybe implement a team along the process to help with that?
I'm sure he's going to. It's based on how successful you're going to be.
Okay, absolutely. It depends on what happens.
Right.
Absolutely. Another solution ADP can offer too is we offer a consulting service.
Oh, really?
And so we can help Steve with a team that would give him the additional resources he would need so he can further delegate his time and resources.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll
so
keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's a recent kind of upgrade we went through, and it seems to be very successful.
Oh, right.
In the past, we've had clients really struggle with trying to delegate that time and resource.
Right.
And so when we implement that process, it really turns into a very successful program.
Right. How interesting.
You
know, I have to say that it sounds interesting, but it all sounds very expensive.
You know, and that's the thing with a lot of companies, Francis, is that it's not only the time and money spent now, but it's the investment for the future.
Okay.
And so it's very important to realize that. And I'd really like to take the time when we can get some numbers and we can really show you the true benefit in time and value that ADP can offer you.
Okay, right.
Would there be ever a time in the future where myself, you, and your sister, possibly even Steve, could sit down?
Well, yeah, it's something I'd have to, consider. I know. I have to ask you one more question. Dorothy's a real stickler for security. I mean, so is this a secure system?
It's absolutely more than secure.
Right.
ADP offers their 100% guarantee on that. In fact, a lot of people when they hear cloud-based processing are really quite intimidated by that, just with the recent hacks and everything else going on in the media.
Right.
Many businesses are concerned with that, and we've alleviated that. And it shouldn't be be a worry.
Right.
And we are professionals when it comes to risk management, and your business is our success. Your success is our business.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Absolutely. Like I'd have to let me talk to Dorothy and Steve and see what we can sort of work out.
Okay, that would be great. And I would like to even bring a few members of my team along.
All right.
So we can give you a really good understanding of what we can bring you on so many different levels.
Okay, that sounds good. So why don't you just give me a call?
Oh, that would be great. Maybe early next Tuesday, would that work to sit down and speak with all three of you?
Probably it would, yeah.
Well, that would be great.
All right.
Let's do Tuesday early morning. Would that be possible?
That's actually a perfect time for us.
Great, I'll bring the coffee in for you.
Great, all right, thanks so much.
Thanks, Francis.
Appreciate it. Thank you.